So you want to become an actor but have no idea where to start. Believe me, I've been there and I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it. Hi, my name's Emily. Welcome to my YouTube channel if you're new here, and today's video I'm going to dive in on exactly how I started my acting career and giving you tips on how you can start your own. I'm going to break down how I did it step by step from training to headshots, managers, agents, and more. So I just recently signed with 2 agents in the span of like a week and a half, and I'm going to tell you how I got up to this point so far. So honestly, what I would say is the very first thing you should do is learn the business of acting first and then get into your classes. What I mean by that is you need to understand how this business works and how you can progress and make a career out of it. And within that, you'll find that you need to take different acting classes and what kind of acting classes should you take. You'll learn all of that once you start learning the business. When I first started, I watched a lot of YouTube videos on like how to start acting, and I actually came across Wendy Elaine Wright. She's a talent manager in Los Angeles, and she runs an incredible program, the Hollywood Winner Circle Academy, and she also runs the Facebook group Talent Managers for Actors. And I joined HWC in 2021, I think, and she teaches you all about the business of acting. She brings in coaches, other actors, agents, managers to talk to you, to look over your materials, to guide you on what to do for your materials, and she really just gives you a blueprint on how you can go through and start your acting career. So I highly recommend joining Hollywood Winner Circle Academy. You get a full year membership. There's 3 Zoom classes a week, and they all normally go over 2 or 3 hours long, and you get to work one-on-one with not just Wendy, but all of the amazing people that she brings in to talk to you and go through your materials with you and kind of guide you in the right direction. I found all, and I mean all of the acting coaches that I've ever worked with so far from Wendy in Hollywood Winner Circle and the Talent Managers for Actors group. So if you're interested in checking that out, you can click the link below in the description. I actually have a link right to the page where you can check it out and see if you want to join. It is an investment, and that's another thing that you're going to have to learn, is that you have to invest in your career and in yourself in order to get to the places that you want to go with acting. So that means investing in good headshots, investing in good teachers, getting really good training, that sort of thing. And in Hollywood Winner Circle Academy, you will have access to literally step-by-step process of exactly what to do. That's why I'm telling you this, because I'm still learning myself. It's not a one-size-fits-all journey. Everyone has their own specific path, but it is an incredible place to start because Wendy is so helpful and she doesn't sugarcoat anything. She tells you how it is exactly. She's not gonna just say oh, you're great, you're fine. She's gonna tell you exactly what you need to do, what you need to fix, what's working, what's not working, and just give you the push that you need to really get yourself a good career going. And like I said, I'm in there still. I've been in there since 2021. I kind of took a break from acting for a year or 2 since then now. So this last year, I started kind of getting into it again. So I still have a lot that I'm learning personally. So that's why I'm directing you to the people who I have learned from, the professionals. If you have any questions about that, feel free to leave them down below and I will answer those individually. So as far as acting classes go, there's a ton of acting classes out there, a ton of them. It's an overwhelming amount. If you go through Wendy, she'll tell you reputable coaches and studios, because there are people out there who will scam you. They'll tell you that they're gonna make you a star, and if you see anyone promising or guaranteeing anything about an acting career, don't listen to them. Don't fall for that trap, because it's not true, and anyone who tries to tell you that is really just looking for your money. So just save yourself the struggle there. As far as the places that I've coached with, I will share those with you. I trained in the Meisner technique with the Hood School of Acting for a while. I'm actually probably going to start doing that again soon because I really enjoyed it. I've also trained with coaches at Margie Haber Studios. This was all on Zoom because I don't live in LA or Ohio, which is where those 2 places are. So you can do Zoom classes, of course. In person is always ideal, but nowadays that's kind of hard to come by depending on where you live. So actually most of the classes that I've done have been on Zoom. And Margie Haber Studios and the Hood School of Acting are 2 really good ones. I've also trained with ActorSite. They have some really good courses as well. And Jordan Woods Robinson, he's one of my coaches I'm currently working with. He has a course that I can link that below too. It's a year-long course. It's sort of self-guided, but there's also weekly live classes, and you submit assignments to him to approve or get feedback on, that sort of thing. And that is all really about mastering self-tapes. It's called MOST, Masters of Self-Tape is what that course is called. So when it comes to learning how to do self-tapes, I am currently standing in my self-tape setup. This is what my auditions look like, and it's something that you need to learn how to make a self-tape setup, what you should use, lights, backgrounds, that sort of thing, audio. And if you want to know what my setup currently looks like, you can check out the video above. I actually just recently posted a video completely detailing my setup, all of the equipment that I use, and how I make it look how it does right now. I'm really happy with this setup currently. So if you want to learn more about that, go ahead and check out that video. I've also recently trained with Mike Pointer from Hey I Saw Your Commercial. It's really important to get commercial training, and that's probably one of the first things you should do is to jump into commercials if you can, because there's a lot more of them. It's a lot easier than trying to jump into film and TV and that sort of thing. So definitely invest in commercial classes. You need audition technique, you need self-tape audition technique, you need to learn script analysis, and that sort of thing can fall within certain studios. Like the class I took at Margie Haber Studios was an ongoing class, and we learned cold reading, we did script analysis, we did creation, we did live tapes, and then replays and feedback. So depending on the studio, you can get a lot of different birds with one stone with a certain class. But I'd say those are the big ones. You want to start with commercials, you want to find a technique to start with, and you want to learn how to audition and how to self-tape. A good way to get your first acting credits is with student films, short films. You can self-submit yourself to projects on platforms like Backstage and Actors Access and casting networks. Actors Access and casting networks are the top two main casting sites. Those are the ones that your agent, when you get one, are going to be submitting you on for the most part. So definitely get an Actors Access, definitely get a casting networks account. Backstage is great too for when you're first starting out getting like student films and that sort of thing. You just want to be wary of scams on any site regardless, but especially just be mindful when you're looking at breakdowns on Backstage. They do get approved, and they'll tell you at the top if like a certain listing hasn't been approved yet. So those are the ones you just want to like keep an eye on. So once you're training, you want to start building your credits in any way that you can: short films, student films, non-union stuff. And you can also do community theater. I personally have never actually done that. I've just done like short films, student films. I would recommend like when you're brand new, you can do background work or extra work, because it's a really great way to just kind of observe how set works, and you kind of just get a glimpse of what your ideal future would be. Like if this is what you really want to do, if you want to be on film and TV, you'll get a really good idea of kind of how the day goes, how the scenes move along, who does what, the terms that are used. So background work is really, really helpful for that. And it also is a way that you can get vouchers to join the union, but I would not worry about the union at this time. I'm not going to talk about that too much in this video, because this would be a really, really long video if I talk about all of these things in depth. So if you have any specific questions that you want me to make a video about, feel free to comment them down below and I can make more videos dedicated to that topic. So once you're in training, you're working on some student films, some short films. Another thing that will come up is, do you need a demo reel? That's a very hot topic right now, and most industry professionals will tell you no, you actually don't need a demo reel to get an agent. You don't need a demo reel. At some point you will have one once you've done more legit projects, but when you're first starting out, you really just need clips, and these are just clips that you film self-tape like this, and you make them for your specific types. So you need to figure out what your types are, and you need to make clips to match at least your top 3 most castable types. This is something that Wendy will teach you all about, so again, that's why I recommend going to her to learn all of this from. She has 6-hour self-video courses plus live training 3 times a week. She will tell you exactly how to do all these things. I'm just kind of briefly going over them. So you want to get those clips made, and then you want to get headshots. You need professional headshots. Don't have your friend or a neighbor or someone who's not a professional headshot photographer take your headshots, because acting headshots are a very specific thing. There's like, headshot photographers will know exactly what casting and agents would like to see in a headshot. You are still the boss of your own session, so you need to do your homework first and figuring out what your types are, and you need to be able to get into those characters when you're taking your headshots. You don't just want to pose for the camera. You want the person viewing your headshot to be able to see what you're feeling. Your eyes need to be telling them a story, and that's something that takes time and a lot of practice with. So that's definitely important. You want really good headshots that are very specific about your most castable types. You want clips that are really specific about your top most castable types. And once you're starting with your resume, there's a specific format that you need to do for resumes. I'm not going to get into that right now. Again, if you have questions about that, leave them down below. Next, when it comes to to getting an agent and manager. This is not something you should jump into right when you're just starting out. You don't need an agent or manager right when you're starting. Once you're getting some bookings and once you have some credits and a lot of classes on your resume, then that's a good time to start reaching out to agents once you have those really good clips and the really good headshots. So that's why that's so important, because you need to be able to give the agent materials to submit you with. They need to be able to see how you act, what kind of actor you are, in order to submit you on projects. So all of this really pieces together, and you need to make sure you're doing really high quality work for all of them, because your agent also isn't gonna hand feed you direction. They're not gonna teach you exactly how to do everything. Again, that's why I recommend Hollywood Winter Circle Academy. I'm still new with both of my agents, so this is something I'm still learning as well. So I actually submitted to a lot of different agencies. I live near Philadelphia. I submitted to a lot in Pennsylvania and also New York City. You can get agents in different areas. That's kind of again, agents is a very long topic to discuss, so I'm not going to dive into that specifically. So now you're kind of at the point where you have your headshots, you have your clips, you have a beginning resume filling out, and now you need to make your cover letter to submit to representation. Your cover letter is just kind of an introduction saying, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. I'm looking for this kind of representation. Then you can list some of your credits. You can list some of the training that you're doing, just kind of selling yourself, but not over the top. You don't need anything super long or fancy like that. It's similar to like a normal job cover letter. It's just telling the agent why they should represent you basically and what exactly you're looking for. And when you're trying to look for an agent, you can go on to the SAG-AFTRA website. They will give you a list of all of the SAG agents. So every agent on that list is going to be legit and you can trust that. Another reason, I know I sound very salesy right now, but I really just value Hollywood Winter Circle so much. She gives you a complete list of all of the agencies in the United States, breaks it down state by state depending on where you live. It's a list of all of the most reputable agents there. So like I said, she really gives you an exact blueprint of what you need to do to get started, how you do it, who you can reach out to, and all that sort of thing. And you know, another big part of it is just staying consistent. You need to keep constantly training. You need to stay in classes. You need to constantly be learning and working on breaking down scripts and that sort of thing. You know, there's a lot of times when you'll doubt yourself. You won't hear anything back from auditions for a while. I've experienced this many times, and all actors will. Everyone can tell you that. And it's just something you have to learn to understand, that a lot of the times it's not about you. You can't be like, oh, why didn't I get it? They must have hated me, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not, you can't think like that. When I get auditions, I like to tape the audition, send it in, and then I forget about it. If I hear back from them, great. If I don't, then that's fine. On to the next one. And that's just kind of the mindset that you have to have with this industry in general. You have to be adaptable. You have to be coachable. You have to be able to take direction. And honestly, through acting classes, I learned a lot about myself as a person and about my own emotions and how my brain kind of works. Honestly, it's kind of therapeutic for me. So it's really cool. It's kind of like you're advancing your career. You're learning more for your career, but you're also learning a lot about yourself, and you can use that information and apply it to your acting. So everything just kind of comes together. Yeah, I could go on and on and on about this. Again, that would take way too long if I talk about all this very detailed. So that's where I'm gonna wrap it up for this video. If you have any specific questions, feel free to leave them down below. If you have any video requests, leave those down below too, and I will make those for you, answering any of these questions. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!